Because also this UFH students.
What?
I just saw a clip. I don't know the reason behind that, but I saw students were outside with their bags, their mattress, and everything.
And
So I guess the UFH is not operating at the moment.
yeah, it's not.
It's not.
What?
I just saw a
Because you
clip.
say
I don't know
right
the
to
reason
education, but
behind that,
you're
but I
supposed
saw
to
students were
look after
outside
those
with their
resources.
bags,
When you ban
their
out
mattress, and
buildings, what
everything.
message are you communicating to this is?
We only react to things when it's time to fly.
Yeah.
This is why we resort to violence and so on. So
Well, the first thing that comes to mind when you get a tender is I should fix at home.
A black person, even though he or she has power to assist you, they'll rather ask for a bribe in order for them to assist you.
Is the government pushing students to violence? Are universities in danger?
yes, people manipulate media to look at it.
And maybe you get sequestrated.
Please, can you please make the cafeteria operate 24 hours? Men will make us look bad. And we are not bad, Shem. If there's one thing that I know about majority of the girls, we come here with that idea of, oh yes, I'm going to collect a degree in Harvard.
Yeah.
That's
Like
because
when my brother, so last time you said who was that busy?
Hello,
I want to still date my partner in marriage.
true.
I've seen a lecture.
I don't like where that is going. Wait, can I please stop? Can I
Hey, what up everyone? It's your host with the most, Anthony, and welcome to our first episode of the University Podcast, guys. Like I said, this is going to be a podcast where we discuss almost everything when it comes to universities. Not only where I am a student in the Northwest University, but all universities in South Africa. And who knows, maybe we might go beyond borders and discuss issues of international universities and everything like that. But without any waste of time, I'll let my my colleagues introduce themselves.
Your co-host.
Co-host.
Hi guys, as your favorite one, I go, the only lady in the house.
Well, I'm not sure if I can beat that, but anyway, I'm Coke from the Brotherhood. You know what it is. But yeah.
Well, it's My name is Kagiso, also known as Bushka012. Some know me as a DJ, but I've changed ways. As you can see now, we're introducing
Transition.
We're transitioning into a new world. Welcome to our podcast, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this.
Sure. I like that you guys fall under something because I know she works at the radio, the Brotherhood, anyway, DJ.
Tricky.
Yeah, that's nice.
And DJ and radio, my man.
Yeah.
My man.
Come on.
So that's already one thing, yeah.
Exactly. No.
No, but without any waste of time, because I want us to touch on some important things before we go to the fun part of the podcast. Like I said to you guys, it's going to be divided into three. It's going to be basically the first part where we discuss important issues. I think I told you when it comes to the UFH issue and also the UFS issue, things like that.
Yeah.
See, also, I know that you guys know that Northwest University is introducing the medical faculty. See, those are things that we're going to discuss basically in the first part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so that people can be informed when it comes to universities. And the second part is basically when we have a guest. You see, ask them questions and all that stuff. And then the last part is going to be the one that I think everyone is waiting for, confessions.
Secrets.
So we're going to be receiving confessions from students all around South Africa, then discussing them, and then, but it's confession, so we can't reveal the person who's behind. Yeah, I see. So it's everything like that. So now, I want us to talk about the UFS issue. I hope that you guys have seen something when it comes to snippets. So what do you have on that?
Is it a strike gone wrong?
Strike gone wrong?
Is it?
No, it's the cause.
Not.
It's a cause. So what happened is, if anyone can correct me, but what happened was, UF first changed its policies,
Yeah.
and they were like, starting from now going forward, we will not have students be allowed to register if, firstly, they do not have an already approved bursary that supports them. Secondly, if they are cash-paying students, they can't register. Thirdly, you can't register if you have debt in the previous. You need to firstly pay off the debt and then register. So basically those are some of the things that
because students are mad.
Students are mad. They're like, nah, what do you mean?
Because the country's going wild, bro.
Yeah, because basically what they're saying is from going forward, you can't be supported by or funded by your parents. Because they're saying you need to fall under a certain type of bursary, approved bursary to register. So I wouldn't say it's a strike gone wrong. I say it has a really good cause.
Is it the one that's where they're saying that the estimated damages ranging from 250 million to 500?
There's actually, one thing about these things, you will find small clips on TikTok. You can't find the actual thing unless you dig deep into it. Until
now I thought when I looked at it, I thought maybe they said if let's say you're owing, and I didn't know that these bursaries don't pay the full amounts in this current year. Let's say you're owing something and it comes January, you can't register because of that outstanding balance.
Can we please speak about that matter? This thing of students having limitations when it comes to them receiving education. What happens to right to freedom of education?
Exactly my point. It means then we're not adhering to the constitution anymore.
We are not, honestly, we are not. Yes, we understand tuition, we understand people need to get paid, we understand that stationery and resources building.
How do you bridge that gap? How do you bridge that gap?
No, but also, and as for students, I get it will come the beginning of the year, not all the debt is settled. I think you guys sign something so that you can register. So are they saying also those students in UFS are not going to be able to register? That's my question.
Bruh, I see the bursary ones, the one that cash paying. Bruh, I have money. Let me in, I want to study. Like that one is insane.
I have money. Kamala Patrick, this child wanted to go to school. He doesn't need a bursary. Even though he could fall under his father's foundation, but like he doesn't need it. So are you also going to say no?
Fuck. Nah, but I think a lot has been happening in this country when it comes to high institutions, bro. Because also this UFH students, like they were basically told to evacuate the premises of the institution.
Yes, I saw that one. Yes, I saw
that. Is wild.
I just saw a clip. I don't know the reason behind that, but I saw students were outside with their bags, their mattress and everything.
And imagine if you don't have money to go home. It's UFH.
It's
UFH.
Imagine if you don't have money to go home and you are asked to evacuate and they give them a specific time. They said, "Nano by 3."
So I guess the UFH is not operating at the moment.
Yeah, it's not. It's UNISA.
It's not.
It's online.
I think they don't want to write exams.
Nah, bruh, you're gonna write online. I think.
So basically, they're still continuing their studies, but it's online now.
I'm assuming so. Because it's exam season, though, you can't really ask to go home and then
evacuate the
yeah.
premises.
But they said it's because they're burning down important buildings at UFH. But also, I think the students, okay, they're going to be people. I think they are also wrong. When the university inconveniences you, I don't think it's a good decision to burn down the buildings. You see, when it comes to, I think UFS did a peaceful strike, didn't damage any property. Because you say you have right to education, but your responsibility is to look after those resources that like they use to educate you. So when you burn down buildings, what message are you communicating to them? How are they supposed to like educate you if you're burning down buildings?
I mean, as a student, we are going towards a revolutionary kid. The way, in our country, reality, sadly, in the reality that we live in, for people to actually make what you guys want, you have to destroy something.
True.
You see people burning tires, bro. You see cars being burned down, because people don't have water. So I think maybe that's the situation they had. Maybe they have voiced out. Of course, you can't just start by burning a building down.
I think to add on what he said, I feel like us as South Africans have normalized the only thing we can see is something that frightens the body. You see how we all have fight and flight system.
Yes.
We only react to things when it's time to fly.
Yeah.
So
You get more on us.
Yeah, I feel like this is why we resort to violence and so on. So I feel like you see the looting that happened years back, a few years back.
I remember.
That looting.
Just like shops, dog.
That's when we South Africa was able to really recognize and react to certain other things that we were dealing with.
That day people got TVs.
Businesses closed. Some businesses closed. People got retrenched. There was a lot going on. So obviously you would react to something like that because it affects the economy. When they
That's bad for economy.
Exactly. So such things. That's when the government or people of power decide, oh no, this is a cause that we need to actually fight for. I think that's one of the problems we.
That takes me to a topic me and my friends once had. Like, would it be better if we were still under the apartheid rules, the apartheid authority? Because I have, from the things that have been happening, from my own perspective, I think it is more of a black man's mindset. If they have this thing of, nah, as long as I'm surviving, then it's okay.
I beg to differ. I don't think there's anything that can justify what is happening in the apartheid era. I don't think there's anything. Because the mindset that you have today of saying that you see these people when they get tenders, they use them badly and everything like that. Because the first thing that comes to mind when you get a tender is, I should fix at home. Why? Because I think it's the impact of apartheid. I think they've given us that mindset to say that you guys are poor and everything like that. Therefore, but again, it leads to these people when they get this money, they use it unwisely. So
you're saying we are better off not under apartheid?
But I'm so sorry to interject. Unfortunately, I want to answer to that one of they focus on making things better at home. Unfortunately, in our case, they're not even focusing on the part of making things better at home. It's now them being greedy because even though they're able to get the things that they need, they still continue to take and take and take. If there's one thing that I've observed about a black person, even though he or she has power to assist you, they'll rather ask for a bribe in order for them to assist you. Even though they know that from assisting this person, I won't lose anything, but they'll still want to gain.
But isn't that the impact of apartheid? Because we were like, when they came, when they colonized us, they took everything from us. Therefore, we were the poor people. Therefore, now when we get money, we use it wisely. Isn't that the impact of?
I'm black, you're black.
I wanna beg to differ on that whole point. I feel like this thing is, we need to go back to the neuroscience, of everything. We neuroscience. We need to go back to the neuroscience of everything. You see, people, or let me say humans, we literally control our fate, but we make so much excuses to say why we didn't achieve something. The reason why people hide behind the colonization era, the apartheid era, is to say, this is why I did not achieve such and such.
Oh, yeah.
But because we can still go to other countries. There are other countries Jewish, where were the Jewish slaughtered?
Gaza.
Exactly. Those places are still developing, they're still thriving. Places around those are still thriving. So it's the mentality that we decided to inhabit and make us a norm. I feel like for us to actually get out of that, mindset, we need to actually stand as a country and have people who actually tell us, guys, is this the real direction that we really want to take, or do we want to be this? Like, there is nothing that stops South Africa and African countries from taking over the world. Literally, all minerals are from here. A lot of things are from here.
The number one country in Africa.
Exactly.
Nobody can dispute that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing, people should stop trying to take, business to the US. So those places are already filled with a lot of things. Develop here. Like that's where everything is at.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I feel like that's the point.
I hear that.
South Africans, they're so entitled.
Yeah.
We South Africans are so entitled, and that will get us anyway.
Baby fat.
And I think
won't
the
get
problem,
us anyway.
because I've heard this notion of entitlement and whatsoever, because I've once been accused of being entitled to NSFAS. Like I was complaining with why am I getting attached? Why are you so entitled? I said, bro, I worked hard to get this. I don't think the problem is entitlement. And again, like normally when people solve issues, normally if you can look at it, it's we must do this. Like you just said, maybe we must stand together and that's very valid, bro. That's what we must do. You get Mara. The problem is execution. Like we must act on what we must act. Acting is different from saying let's come together. The reality again, to go back to the reality, the sad reality we live in. How many people are gonna watch this podcast?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna understand the language they're using right now. I mean, when you get to university, you start thinking, oh, everyone is learned, everyone is like this, everyone is like that. But it's unfortunate. You saw Galuti. They don't care what their investors are coming in or leaving the country. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I think before we can breach a gap of saying, no, you know what, the problem is that we are entitled. No, the problem is lack of knowledge. We have a lot of people that live recklessly from day to day. You get where I'm going with this. Yeah, they don't really have the knowledge. That thing of saying right from wrong, they can't distinguish. Man, they wanna do another looting because Julius Malema is supposedly going to jail. Well, Too short of Alleged. Yeah, man, you get where I'm going with this.
That's a legend.
How people don't have the knowledge?
I think we have it. I think the majority of South Africans don't.
No, you can't
You see how people always know how to get rich.
Yeah.
They know, okay, I need to stop buying this, I need to budget like this, and we know these things. One thing about we know. What we lack is what you said, the action to do it.
Yeah.
Action kills the fear. Because in most cases we always create scenarios of negativity on why that thing won't succeed.
Yeah.
But if we actually took the willpower or the thinking power to say, no, let me look for possibilities that would make this thing a possible action, we don't do that.
I hear you, but in South Africa, though, actions need resources. For instance, let's say we wanted to start this podcast. Do you think it would be possible without this equipment and everything?
Would not.
There are people who started with less and have more.
I hear you, but I'm saying, let's say you want to start a business right
Yes.
now. How, let's say a business of chickens.
Uh-huh.
You don't have the necessary equipment to make those chickens survive. And those things are expensive. So, I think in South Africa, we do have ideas. I also have ideas of business. In fact, almost everyone has ideas, but resources.
Do you want to go first?
No, you-
Ladies first.
Ladies
Oh my
first.
God.
In the 21st century.
I feel like a princess.
No, I'm talking to
Siabo.
Yes.
I think the problem is in life, you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
That's
In
all.
life, you need to start somewhere. You cannot just wake up having all the money in the world. You need to start somewhere. So, I cannot want to start a business of doing people makeup with only 10 rands. I'd rather go buy tomatoes and sell those tomatoes. Those tomatoes will give me 100 rands. And then with that 100 rand, go buy something that will give me more money to buy that kit. So the thing is, these people have this thing of, I don't have money to do this specific kind of thing, so I'm going to let it go and do something that is so illegal or do something that is so negative. Rather than taking a different route of getting resources to do what they actually want to do. I mean, most of us, you might find that actually did not want to do education,
Yeah.
but unfortunately I was accepted for education. Just go in, study education, you will change the course next year. You start somewhere.
Yeah, true.
So we need to accept that you cannot have everything instantly. You need to start somewhere.
That's the quote of the day. You start somewhere. That's very powerful. But I don't want us to deviate from what we're talking about. You know, we're still discussing.
I wanted to go back to it. No, like, how do you justify? Because I can see now they made it a big deal. To say, like I said, they said the estimate damage now it's from 250 million to 500.
Damn.
Yeah, already, but it's 250 to 500 billion rands. Shabu, we're gonna make this a big deal. Like, this is all over the news. But what's going on with the commission? 2 billion was lost. It was not students who did this. People are not making it a big deal as the way it should be. What I'm saying is we're not appreciating the situation for what it is. But now because it's students doing this because they want a certain thing, now it's wrong. You get that's how when I was studying I said, is this strike gone wrong? Or was this planned? Or did the student did we push is the government pushing students to violence? Are universities in danger?
You may have a point.
Yeah, are universities in danger?
Yeah.
You may have a
Yeah,
point.
it does. And I also feel like the justice system is actually against students nowadays. Because if you damage property of the institution and police
You get
catch you, they
bailed.
arrest you.
You can get arrested, you can be, but what's the word? They can kick you out from school.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
apparently during the strike, going to FS, when some students were trying to hide from the strike, and the police would actually grab them and saying that you're either part of the strike or you're going to,
Be a witness and help people.
Exactly.
here it says my university of Free State students are expected to make their first appearance in the Bloemfontein Magistrate Court on Friday on charges of public violence. So they were arrested Thursday during the protest in Bloemfontein.
I know I'm a conspiracy theorist, but then I think
Same here. I was about to jump into that. I was like, one of the reasons we can't focus too much on that, what we're building, is because people manipulate media to look a certain way. And we grasp, like I said, we have this flight, fight, instinct. And there's certain things that like, whoa, this might, destroy something. Because it's going to cause harm to you when you destroy something. So I feel like this is why people make sort of plans to manipulate media and say,
I think they're
let's
doing that now.
cause chaos here, so we forget about that. And then
we can't do that. We can't. No, let those students go. It's only 250 million.
that's ugly,
Bro,
ugly.
that nigga, 2 billion, how do you steal 2 billion, bro? Like, how does, especially money that was supposed to go to medical facilities, that's very bad.
But they took his cars, man. That guy had
They
Just
three Lamborghinis, dog. That's
Three
greedy.
Lamborghinis, that's not even 50 million.
Dog,
That's
that's
not.
greedy though.
But like,
I feel like
once they sell majority of his assets and take all the financial assets that he has, they will try and recover close to the amount, but nowhere close to the actual 2 billion.
Because also when you take the cars to auction, they won't sell at the price that you bought them.
No, that is true. That is true. That is true.
So we're not going to cover, guys. Taking cars is just media propaganda. Like I don't think they're going to cover that amount. That nigga needs to be arrested.
He needs to get sequestrated.
Even if he gets arrested, where's it Nane? But I feel like that would be a story for another day. Personally, I feel like going to jail is not enough.
Hey, that penalty,
Not
bro.
life.
It's not
Not
enough.
It's not enough.
It's not
What?
enough.
Okay.
Personally, I feel like going to jail is not enough. That's
So
how
what's
it
the
is.
alternative? No, let's hear the alternative.
That's not enough, honestly. Let this man work. Let this man work and not earn anything. The money that he's making, let it go to the damage he caused. I feel like things would be much better that way.
Do you think
Jail-
death penalty should come back?
No.
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 So what do you think we should do? It is as well. Prison is not.
It's
Prison
against,
time
it's
is
against the
not.
constitution.
I don't think death penalty should come back.
Yeah.
Reason being, there was this other story that I read where a person was falsely accused of killing. So, if death penalty was allowed and then they charged that person to death penalty, he would have died for no reason. So I don't think death penalty should be back. I feel like life sentence is much better than death penalty. And personally, as an individual, I'll make an example. If it happens that I burn your property worth millions, let me say 1 million, instead of me going to jail for destroying your property, for damaging your property, rather let me work. And the little money that I earn, that money must come to me.
That's why I was saying sequestration.
Yeah, you see, there was I think you were the one who told me when you say prisoners shouldn't actually be just sent to jail just to live like it. They should work to
Actually, that's something that's been introduced by the minister.
Really?
Yeah, the white guy.
So
He's
okay,
working
no,
that.
I'm curious. I'm curious. Again, now we're putting monetary value on things. What happens about the criminal that caused death? You can't.
Yeah, that's
repay it.
different. I think that one is
You
different.
can't repay it. Exactly. So when we cancel out prison, what are we replacing?
No, I'm not.
I think you
entirely saying
referring to
jail
matters that are referring to monetary.
monetary
Yeah,
matters.
monetary
Yeah,
matters.
jail. I'm not saying jail.
I mean, you can steal a billion and then spend the 15 years in prison.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
And come back
how
and
does
eat
it
that
cover
money.
that?
And that's how they do it. You know, when if you are involved in a heist, yeah? If you are involved in a heist and you hide the money, as long as you serve your time, once you come back and the money is still there, they can't take that money. Now it's legally yours because you spent your time, you did your time. You did your time for stealing that money. So I think that's very valid though. Because I mean, yeah, Joe, why should you spend time when you stole money?
Spend
Pay
time in
pay
jail.
back the money.
Spend time in jail
But-
studying. You
Spend
come out
the
with a
money.
PhD in law.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you guys. I hear you. But still on university.
Oh my God, we are so all over the place.
But
No, but I think it can link because you said students are gonna appear before
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
because of damage to property.
I don't think that's fair.
That's not fair.
They were fighting for their rights.
Yeah.
They're fighting for their rights. I get.
Wait, which rights exactly were?
It's your education, doc. Because it's those ones that I said you can't register in the beginning of the year because of the outstanding. I think they're fighting for their rights. But nonetheless, I want to go to this one. Just you guys know that NW is introducing a medical school.
I know. Who doesn't know? Who doesn't
First
know?
year. It's been spoken about in my first year, bro.
Who doesn't know?
It's been coming.
I think there's a name already for
I think
Desmond
there's
Tutu.
Desmond Tutu.
Yeah, but how do you guys feel about it? I'm skeptical.
I'm not.
Why?
I think NW is coming to be one of the best universities
Yeah.
everyone wants to go to. Like, I think some universities just had decades of experience. That's why they have all the glory. You know, your Wits. No, it's been here for a very long time. So exactly. So you know, places like NW that is coming with new ideas, new ways to innovate, and so on. So literally, we actually having a topic the other day. Remember when I was telling you that in accounting we've been
Number two,
number
number
one,
one.
number two, like quite
I
frequently.
think it's UP that has been a challenge.
Yeah, UP, UJ, because there's a time where UJ was also on top. So I feel like NW is really
It's on the
taking that market.
journey.
It's on the journey. Like in what 5-10 years time.
Yeah, come in, Baba.
And we're literally because remember next to class the one
Oh, that's why the pipes and stuff. I was telling someone
Next to what?
The one next to cluster, the side of cluster.
Really?
Yeah, the one I had like a shopping center.
Okay.
The way
Nice.
UFS second has that. Yeah, the one and something similar to that. So like, it's going to be a very beautiful place.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a great honor to say, you know what, I'm going to NW to study.
I'm from NW.
Well, I'm from NW, you know.
But I think it's unique. This institution is unique, man. You know,
Very.
I won't say it was my first option. Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
None of us.
Same.
Like, exactly. But actually, when you come here, you appreciate what happens. Because I've also when it comes to like extracurricular activities, they invest a lot in those.
Yeah, a lot.
They invest a lot in those. See, I've attended a lot of varsity cups, but the one I attended here, it's different. The atmosphere.
It's the
Amazing.
one.
Dog.
Amazing.
So they're improving everything and when it comes to education and it comes to have fun and everything. I feel like it's a university that can balance the two.
True. True. Well, world is still making a complex, a Smolangana complex. Please, guys, please, can you please make the cafeteria operate 24 hours? Please.
Not only that also the clinic.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch them?
I feel like
No, but
I feel
this is why there's an operating ambulance.
I feel like this is not
Yeah,
this is not only
they
for
just take it
NW. I feel like in all institutions, I feel like
Yeah.
clinics should be operational 24 hours. This is not only for NW, guys, all institutions, in fact in the world. Because, bruh, you can't tell me that when a person is like more emergency serious, you want to take an ambulance and take them there. I feel like they should be treated here and we should have our own doctor.
Because
I think there are regulations that put or put pressure on any institution to actually
Yeah, I think that makes
extend
sense.
by something.
Mhm.
Because I know like when you host gatherings and events, there needs to be some sort of ambulance in case of anyone happens for any emergency sick. So I think they are required by law or by some type of regulation to have some sort of standby ambulance or clinic operating. So I think that's why the clinic is not operational 24 hours, because we have an ambulance.
Yeah, we
whatever
do.
time it's there, and I think they just take you to the hospital straight.
But what happens when you find the hospital full?
I think that's where regulation also comes in. You mentioned the fact that the maybe we must have our own doctors and stuff like this.
True.
I think what they're looking at, imagine say you have your own private medical. Say you have you have your medical, and then sharp you have a seizure, and then after having those seizures, they take you here instead of like maybe like to where you were supposed to go. Maybe you would have been safe if you went there. And now you come here, maybe the doctor becomes incompetent and stuff like that. I think the school is running away from that responsibility, because the moment they have a doctor, it means they will be responsible for
the liability.
Yeah, the liabilities that arise from disputes in that clinic. So I think they're running from regulations. That's why they prefer taking them outside. They get treated outside. If you have medical, they'll take you like.
Nah, I hear you. So you're saying it's for their safety, basically.
I think it's regulation wise to look at you being safe at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, no, man, you're not ready for MW, man. After introducing the medical school, maybe you'll be number one.
Yeah, I have
sure.
a feeling. I have a feeling.
We're coming at a lot.
Yeah, we'll come. But I also have to give big ups to UJ, dog. UJ doesn't have medicine, you know that. But it has been number 32, somewhere there.
I get a
UJ is
joke.
good, guys.
No, I get a joke. Also, but when she by HR, obvious high pass rate is like very high.
No, but it's the same year as us. Like, you just 20 years old and we're 20 years old.
Ready tag.
But
I think the system is manipulated.
Eish, guys.
Allegedly.
Guys.
Bang the application.
Nah, but I don't think it is. I feel like, there are certain advantages and disadvantages of being here and there. The environment in which our institutions are placed, or let me say our campuses are placed, is exactly. But that side, the lowest looking is what Soweto, and Soweto looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
And it has great facilities there.
It does.
Exactly. So, they have, much sort of resources around them to like use. And
that's why at their disposal. No, what has to do with all the. Wait, yesterday, Nala Uti, we got free food.
Wait.
Emma SIA in that side.
Really?
We found people, yeah, and then we did our thing and then we got food. As I'm eating, I'm thinking, do these people buy from actual butcheries or do they use their own meat from their farm?
they actually outsource a lot of food that we eat.
They make them themselves, ne?
Outsource.
Outsource meaning they get them from outside.
Outside, yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, they do.
So what happens to the cows that they breed here?
They sell those things.
Okay.
They make money.
Yeah, right now you can go there and buy meat. It's pretty cheap.
Construction
Eggs and
is
stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's how they get the money for construction.
Hey.
Hey,
But we need it.
Beauty man.
Busy man.
Okay, well, what is your first option when it comes to university?
My first, guys.
That's
My first option was UFS.
serious.
UFS.
Why? But why?
Or like you see what's going on.
UFS, ish. I've always wanted to be literally far away from home.
Uh-huh.
Where are you from?
I'm from Northwest.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
trust you.
I'm a Northy Betty.
Okay.
Yeah.
You look like a Joe Began.
Yeah, dog.
Really?
Content or something.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm a Northwest Han. So I wanted to be like far away from Northwest.
Fair.
And I didn't want to go. Gauteng was second option because I have relatives there. My aunt lives there, so I didn't.
But okay.
My aunt is my best friend. I
But
didn't want to
okay.
be close to my
okay.
best friend. I just say if you're waiting. So my first was UFRS, and then UJ, Verts, and UP, and then Northwest.
Your last option.
Yeah, Northwest was my last.
But good guys finish last.
Energy, Young Z.
January,
Yes.
UJ are
And now you are happy.
But you're no. University are
Mina,
no.
I think I could utlwa taba eo, a di a nkhana.
What happened?
Oh, what
A di a
happened?
nkhana lena, ko UJ ke bile slow ka ho register. UJ I was slow, so ebe ke ba le trauma ya ko UJ. I was like, I was late ka registration. E rile ke kra acceptance.
yeah.
Ebe ke
Immediate.
register.
Yeah.
E rile ke fetso register UFS Kanyara. I wanted to cry.
I feel that.
I wanted to
What
cry.
happened?
I also had a similar thing. I was waitlisted on majority of the universities. The only like straight no's were from UCT and VETS.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was on a waiting list, basically on a waiting period. So here, NW answered, and my mom was like, dog, other people went.
Just
Just go. Now the sad part, I got here, and a week later, 2 weeks later, UFS
the
is
waiting
like,
list.
and for exactly what I wanted to study, because right now I'm studying a CA, but I wanted to do actuary. So like, my heart was broken, but my mom was like, I'm fine now.
It's
Just
okay.
Because I know we can't refund the
Yeah, just go.
It's okay.
But this institution is inconveniencing students also by answering late. To be honest, I think they should.
Northwest, what I respect about Northwest is that they're really, not the reason why I ended up going with Northwest. Apart from other institutions, they were very quick in terms of email wise.
Communication.
The communication is
No,
Communication.
even when you enter 3,
Yeah, they made sure
Yeah,
they
communication,
communicated with
you know.
Even acceptance, now I was accepted at 4. But all these 4 were lacking, bro. Like they were lacking. The UFS learned and accepted at the same, because I think they give you a period to say
period to
accept
say
our
accept,
offer. Yeah, I took time to accept that offer. I was checking my options.
Yeah.
So Mara, I ended up saying, nah man, you see, Northwest it doesn't look sketchy.
Yeah.
It looks promising.
Exactly, exactly.
I didn't know where I'm coming, where I'm going by the
Yeah.
way. I didn't know. Universities, when university comes to head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to this beautiful place.
then things.
Hey, bro.
Guys, but it's not
No, but
bad.
I feel like
Compared to watch, come on.
no, don't compare them. You know, when you apply, they tell
It's
you
the
this.
same institution.
No, when you apply, they tell you this. These campuses have different atmospheres. It is your preference to say that you want to study at this campus or that campus. Now, honestly speaking, I chose this campus because I like this campus. I chose it because of what sets it apart from other two campuses. See, so you can't compare them.
And my Jubare Northwest University, I don't know if maybe research has been updated. They said people who are doing law, it's one of the best universities in terms of
Those are dope.
One of the true.
it produces good lawyers because
True.
there are not a lot of disturbances at the end of the day.
True.
So as for doing law here,
Ipanganye.
Like about accounting with already.
yeah. In accounting that eating, nah, dog, we have to give it to our accounting students.
Yeah,
right?
pass.
No, what they're doing.
No, if I'm sure if you said your
Take the crown. Take the crown.
I'm sure
Take
we'll have a
it.
distinction.
None.
I'm sure we'll have a distinction.
Kid.
Yeah.
Good, as long as you're from here and you're doing accounting, you are hired.
Clock it.
No. I think.
If you manage to get your degree, sure.
Yeah, dog. I think. Okay, now I want us to go to something else now.
Okay, I'm waiting.
That's how you want to.
Yo.
Yeah,
Wait, Keisha.
No,
What's next?
it's just that.
Oh, God, I'm excited.
No, I had a
Hey,
live with Oli. This topic is sensitive. I had a live
My
with
vibes.
Oli, and she joined. And you know, we're talking about campus love, university love.
University law.
Oh, so dating in university.
Yes.
Actually, there was a clip that I came across on TikTok that said Hans from university are not worth it because of the way they get signed in and everything like that. And Oli joined, and Oli was like, nah, it's worth it. And I want to hear her side because then I say, bruh, you would see in your res 100 cards on a desk, and those people are the ones that are going to get married. They are the ones that are going to get married, dog. Like, even the security, sometimes they tell me, they're like, this hand was sent emails. So getting said, yeah, dog. So I'm like, what?
Lene wa assignwa ene ko residencing e one. What's a change?
You answered the question.
You
It's
answered.
not nice.
No. I'm speaking regarding
It's
that part.
dangerous,
I'm
yeah.
speaking further regarding that part.
Me, I say
So,
women.
guys, you know, men
That gender.
Men-
The
men-
danger.
men will make us look bad. And we are not bad, Shem. You know, my brother likes saying, all men are dogs. Just choose the
The best
right
dog.
breed. Winner. Choose the one that you'll be able
So
to
the breed.
maintain. Hey, yeah. Na Shem ki tsamela le chihuahua because ha ipogola ka itlapa ke khotsa. So when if you are going to choose a people,
Only
it will luma. O sa re tsenya. So banyana baga, if there's one thing that I know, my ladies, these girls are so nice, they're so loving, they're so humble. Ke lona le re gogelang mo thailong. You know, you'll come here only a very lovely girl, waiting on a husband, because if there's one thing that I know about majority of the girls, we come here with that idea of, oh yes, I'm going to collect a degree in husband.
Yeah.
That's the logic that we come to varsity with. And then when you get here, your first year, that senior that you get,
Proper.
now wait, second year when you come back, you're like, this is
You're
the
gonna
game.
come
Let's play a game.
I think different people have different experiences when it comes to relationships on campus.
True.
I know some people who have, yo bro, like, what la bajal already, I wish I was you, my name.
the relationship.
Yeah.
This Eddie, Joe.
It's
Like,
because
wait, my brother, so last time, who was that person?
No,
Anton?
I don't say.
Anton?
I don't sign in.
Oh, that's it.
No, it doesn't.
No, okay.
No, guys, now I don't sign in, guys. I'm in a committed relationship. Yeah, so.
at least,
So how is your relationship?
or committed?
My relationship,
University.
my relationship is amazing, dog. I met the person a few weeks ago. No, I'm kidding. I've been knowing the person, but yeah, I can't disclose my relationship. Hey.
Sizok shy.
Hey.
Sizok shy.
But it's been long since I've known the person. But why don't you talk about my relationship?
Okay, let's not talk about our
Brother man is quiet, what?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah,
How are you so quiet?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
But are you dating?
No, I am.
You are dating.
Yes.
Congrats. That's good. On campus?
I'm a married man.
Oh, hallelujah. I hope you're loyal.
I'm a married man. Oh, I guess. How would you?
And you know, if there's one thing that I know, the ladies who will be watching this podcast are expecting me to teach you guys good manners. So please, when you go out there, please treat these ladies with care.
How do you treat a lady with care, bro?
Okay, so you want my lady perspective on this one?
Yeah.
Um.
You don't know.
I don't want to respond to this because, hey, guys, waiting. Okay.
I mean, ladies expect to be treated good.
I
you
can
just said,
see
like,
people have
Tell us how.
different preferences, though.
We do have different preferences.
Okay.
I'll speak for myself. Ne? I'm not all about money, but trust me, I will speak about money. But not that you should spend it on me, but that you should make it.
Oh.
This is how it goes. Make money. I'm not saying spend it on me. Make money. It is up to you whether you want to gift me or not. I don't believe in girlfriend allowance. I believe in gifting. Bruh, buy me a love candy. Bring me a stock sweets every day you see me. Small things matter. That's the kind of girl I am. Hakibatle, klipanyana. I don't want that.
Yeah,
Well,
So
let's
as
deceiving us as a
girls,
country, guys. Deceiving us as
That's not like-
So, when you don't mind, Motorella took sweets once a month. As long as
once a month, darling, la ha se ka tlase na le load ne. Load. Ke tlo rata money. I won't even look at all these other guys. Trust me.
You're the best thing that has ever been to
And I think that's how it starts, by the way.
Yeah,
And I
that's-
think it starts very small. Very, our expectations they grow as the relationship grows. At
You
first,
also need to
when you
grow.
say I love you, that's enough at the first. First
Exactly.
instance, you say, baby, I love you. Then that's enough
to a girl.
to again.
You
And
guys-
then now she expects the I love
No, you guys
to come with a stock sweet and a note.
Nah, I beg to differ.
Okay.
Like, as a relationship is, in my perspective, you know, anyone can have their own perspective. Right?
Yeah.
So, in my perspective, it's a give and take.
Mm.
You know.
Mutual.
It's a mutual thing.
Got
And,
it.
I hate how society is sort of painting a relationship and all. I've grown to understand that honestly, being in a relationship is a give and take scenario. You know? You need to understand that you need to pour into her cup, she pours into yours.
True.
So you can't necessarily say, I'm not going to spend on her.
You can't. Man.
I always tell people that personally, me, I want to still date my partner in marriage.
True.
Like your small things, your small every week you guys are going on a date, trying on a new restaurant. I want to continue doing that. I feel like you find a much more beautiful life created after all that.
True.
Because like you guys get to experience every moment and continue reminding each other of why you fell in love.
Are you sure you are in varsity? You're giving, I have an UD.
But then you rest outside.
I'm working at a very big firm.
Yeah.
You're giving that. You don't sound like these
No,
boys.
I'm thinking.
Hey, we
I think I'm that boy, baby.
No, I'm thinking maybe you guys are just speaking it into existence. Maybe it's coming. It's
It's definitely coming.
Yeah, it's not
It's definitely coming.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I like how you well spoken. Let me just say
Well spoken. Thank you.
Yes,
Well
yes.
spoken.
Wait, let me speak.
Ask him who I call him. Who do I call him?
Love
Mentor. Yeah,
Love
that's
mentor.
when I no,
And then you
mentor.
can do it.
This guy's my mentor name.
Oh,
but
meaning life generally.
but he refuses when I call him that.
Yeah,
But
because like it's a big title.
no, man, from first day, I don't just give a person that title. From first day when I came here, when I talked to him, in fact, I talked to a lot of people. But when I talked to him, I was like, nah, this nigga, there's something different about him. He's learned, and not only about academics, but also about life in general. So he's a really.
Najo, Brian, I'm not taking away your flowers. I think really that was very good, outspoken and stuff. Man, now, I think maybe I'm selfish. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I feel like each and every person, only that survival instinct at the back of their mind.
True.
Women, especially.
No, not women especially. Being human. Yeah.
Not say women. You know why?
I think it's all genders.
No, because I feel like most women survive on male, man. The way
Nah.
okay, look at it this way.
They're gonna tell you that
Most of the time,
you're getting
a
cancer.
woman. No, most of the time a woman asks.
You're gonna get arrested.
Asks
No, he's getting cancer.
no, most of the time a woman asks money from males. Am I
He
lying?
just got it. He's going out.
Am I lying?
Most of the time, a woman asks for money from a man.
Yeah, I'll say that. Most of the time, who's the head of the family?
Guys, it's not like that,
How is
man.
it? How is it?
Now it's equal. I mean,
Now,
It's
honestly,
not like that.
I didn't grow up in such an environment, and my family is
Mm.
like it's a give and take thing. Like there were moments where either partner was out of a job, and for actually a
Very
huge amount of months, there was support. That's what I grew up in. That's why I think maybe that's why my view of this whole
It's different. It's like-
yeah it's
Yeah.
And until I cannot just wake up and say, Anto,
Money.
Zaganyana, awa.
No, it happens like okay.
When I was
How-
about guy and like when automatically play
how often does a male ask money from a female?
okay, rarely, but it's because of
Exactly,
the society.
rarely.
It's
society.
society.
We grew up in the whole,
Yes.
for example, the whole men don't cry, men don't do this, men don't do that. Men need to
but
provide.
men, do men cry?
Yeah, narala.
Guys.
Narala. Yo.
Okay,
Guys.
ish, I have a debate on that.
For battery repair, for a battery to start a koloi,
Uh-huh.
there must be a positive and a negative.
Fair.
You
fair.
can never.
No, that is true.
Positive and positive
That
can
is-
never work.
that
out.
is true.
So I believe in
Cry.
yeah. No, not in crying. No, I don't like that men don't cry, and then ladies should cry. I mean, if Scala saw it too, who's gonna say nah? No, like stop crying. What's
Okay,
wrong?
I feel like you're finding it wrong. There are moments where you are allowed to feel pain, and
Yeah.
she will be your
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I know where you're going with
then
this.
it has to allow men to actually feel some sort of sad emotion and cry, and then have their partner support them and be like, "I'm here for you."
This is how Nick.
I've cried before, man. I don't believe in crying.
Okay, you don't believe in crying.
Yeah,
well,
man, I've
crying
cried
is,
before,
is,
but bro.
crying is the best way to
Really.
let your feelings out.
Thank you.
Literally the best way.
Thank you. Yes.
Crying, it's better than speaking. Trust me. And this is what I believe in
Yeah.
as an individual. I believe that as a man, you shouldn't cry in public like women always do it.
Fair.
A man should cry in a private space because we know how the society is. No matter how we emphasize that, no, we are equally, no, they have feelings here, they have emotions. Someone is going to use that crying of yours against you and it's going to damage you. So I believe that as a man, you should cry in private. Have a place where you are crying. Don't just stay and say, No, I don't want that. My man, if I had a man, I would expect my man to go out there, be and be like, I'm a daughter, hey, I don't cry over. But when he comes to me, he must cry.
No, like I feel like there should be balance now. You see, if let's say you cry in front of your kids, man, like there won't be balance. I feel like when you cry, when you're in front of your kids, they should see daddy as that strong character.
That's what I'm saying. Cry in private.
Yes, but when you're with a woman, you are allowed, man, to
Yeah, that's not private.
Your woman is your private space, guys. Your woman is your private space.
You spend every day with this person when you sleep, shower,
Ah.
everything with this person.
You've seen this person naked.
I get where you're going. Give or take, like you stand from there, like that's the principle. And I'm not saying you are wrong, bro, man.
Fair.
But like I'm saying, like regardless of what we say, what we do, how we act, we can't take. And I believe in. I'm a strong believer in biology, dog. And I know a lot of people like running away from the topic of feminism and stuff. Like we don't like talking about this thing. We normally divert from it. But then at the end of the day, bro, like this thing of give or take, it works for some it doesn't. Like you mentioned something about society. Look at what Sayan Buji. What is Sayan Buji saying on media? Media doesn't talk about give or take situations. She's speaking about taking. It's not a give or take. She's not willing to reciprocate the energy.
Allegedly, Tsala. Hey, Tsala.
What I think you are like.
Tsala, allegedly.
But I hear you. If there's one thing that I know, guys, we are different. And we'll always have different approaches to different situations. I'll always be a lover girl, baby, no, don't worry. You don't have to give me girlfriend allowance. And we'll always be that girl. If you love me, you're going to give me money. That's how she is, and that's how she will always be.
And you love that about that person.
Exactly. And there are men who appreciate, oh no, my woman wants money. It shows.
Some things is just like I want her to be safe and have all her things. For example, now in the future, I will have that whole idea where maybe my card is on her phone. For not for okay, go spend money. No. For okay, when I have an emergency and maybe I don't know funds or whatever. This is something I can use for stuff like that. So it's not always like blessing your woman, blah, blah, blah. Especially when we get to like marriage, because now.
What's your take on marriage? What's your take on marriage?
Before we go into that, if you think or you decide to have East Tembu in the future,
we
call me. Call me.
Only you are married.
Baby, alright.
Guys, call me. One thing I know about me, I wouldn't want to be the first one. You can make me the last. I don't mind. But
I had to figure out if it.
And he had a question. He wanted to say something about marriage.
Before we pause on this.
Oh no. Let's move on from it.
No.
The marriage one. Because get okay. No. And my
Maybe I told my baby,
there's a high number of people signing anti-nuptial contracts. People don't trust each other nowadays.
No, but I think that's something we should also understand that we're in different centuries and different things happen. We're impacted by different things. You can't say, "Oh, I won't have a prenup now." Come on, we have seen how, for example, Jeff Bezos lost a majority of his thing when he did.
True.
So we protect ourselves from such things. So I think like it's fair for a partner not to get all worked up over me saying, "Baby, I think we should sign a prenup."
True.
Yeah, man. Like I said, but anyway, guys, like I told you, the last part of our podcast would be like confessions, right? But because today we don't have any confessions from students, and it means that obviously we can't do that part. But I want to ask you guys, what do you like? What are some craziest confessions like? Do you think we're going to get? I know it's going to be around love. I know students, but like, what is the most craziest? In fact, wait, now what would your confession be?
I've seen a lecture.
I don't like where that is going. Wait, can I please laugh?
Should I? Niva.
Can I please laugh?
There's no specifics.
As long as you don't mention an institution.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sure, I can say it.
But those
Don't say
specifics.
it. Don't say it. Don't
Those
say it.
specifics-
Trust me.
That's fine.
Trust me. Don't say it.
No,
She didn't
specifics.
know.
Trust me. Don't say it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna listen to her. She works at the radio. She knows
Yeah.
it.
Trust me. Don't
So
say
guys,
it.
I think we're gonna pause this part. I think we'll wait for confessions because I don't like where it's going. And I'm
If we
yeah,
matana.
because we all have confessions. I
Hey, my brother, and I've seen things.
That's all.
Okwa coffee.
Hey, now guys, I
Tune
think
next episode.
yeah,
You'll find out. Yeah, right here on University
Steak.
Podcast.
Steak.
now guys, thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of University Podcast. You know, it's your host with the most. I don't know my intro. It's my Sima. Thank you.
And you do favorite when I go all love and see you.
It's still your boy, Coach from the Brotherhood. Have a nice evening.
0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Panapito!
3, 4, 9, 6.